We have an RPG guy. Very sneaky. Very, very sneaky. He can see them pretty clearly from here. But maybe he's already out of ammo. Maybe he's trying to save. Oh, here we go. He's getting ready to fire it. Ooh! That was a direct hit on the front MRAP, making that now also no longer useful. It's going on fire, and after a certain time, it will die. Now, the truck really is in a bad position. It's locked in between a burning MRAP, which is going to explode, and an MRAP, which is just right behind them. It's kind of blocking their way. Alright, howdy boyos, and welcome back to another SquadOps operation where I will be spectating the action from an eagle's eye perspective, mostly because I'm still kind of afraid of playing myself. Anyway, we're gonna get right to the action, but first, the mission for tonight. The American objective is to get this truck, nicknamed the Taco Truck because it delivers food and water to FOBs around here, to a location on the other side of the map right there at training camp. Right now we're on the main on the left side. They have a couple of different assets. They have a couple of MATVs and a buttload of infantry, as you can see over here. The insurgents' job is to either kill all the Americans or to blow up the Taco Truck. If the Taco Truck gets blown up, I believe all Americans still have to try and make it to the training camp. The Americans win if the truck gets there or if they kill all the insurgents. And the insurgents win if they kill the Taco Truck or kill the Americans. And there's a couple of other rules with FOBs and stuff, but I don't want to bother you with that because I've never really seen them do that in these events so far anyway. So for now, I'm going to take a quick break, let the briefing go on, and then when they get started, we'll see you back. Alright, so we're on the way, and they are actually about to get in contact. I kind of cut through, or didn't really record the first minute or so of the battle, or of the game, but they're actually right here is where I'm assuming the first large engagement is going to happen. The Americans decided to send their guys out in a staggered column on the road with 2 MATVs, the truck, and then the last MATV. So the Vics will be not supporting the infantry from the front, but rather be in the rear. Now, as with all squad ops, there is a one life only rule. So DRK Octo Snake, who spent a very long time trying to get into this lobby, has immediately died. There is no respawns, there is no reviving. The only way you can get up is not, I guess technically speaking, a medic is only allowed to heal people. They're not allowed to actually pick up people, like if they're down and dead. So for Dr. Octo right here, he died very, very quick. I am going to leave on these triangles so I can kind of keep up with what's going on. But I'm not going to turn. I'm going to try and keep off the silhouettes and the names, so it stays kind of cinematic. But with the triangles, I can at least sort of see what's going on to a degree. Now, as you can see, the insurgents almost immediately ambushed the Americans as they approached the first bridge. Another rule in these events usually is that bridges are the only way for vehicles to get across a river, which means that the insurgents really only have to cover nothing over there. So they really only have to cover this bridge and that bridge, and there should be, I think, one more bridge back there, because the Americans do have to get to the training camp. So the insurgents, you can see, are actually sending some of their reinforcements down south, and I've realized where the American force is pushing. So we get another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We basically got a whole squad here of insurgents pushing into the American flank, and I'm assuming, let's take a look over there though. I'm going to assume that they're probably watching their flank. Although these guys, they're kind of watching their flank. But at the same time, being up here has its advantage, so you can see all the way across. But in the same way, it works in the reverse, where, you can get easily spotted from the flank. So we're going to try and see if we can maybe find an American who's not about to get killed, because I really don't think the guy has a very long or good chance of surviving. Here's one of the MATVs. Let's turn on
Probably flanking.
Death of Field.
No, we didn't.
Turn on the triangles. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The gunner just got hit bad. He has to bandage right now. Whoever hit the gunner did a pretty damn good job, because that's a pretty hard target to hit. 249 lining up targets. Oh, 249 lining up targets just down the road. Lucky for him, this guy was crossing. Lucky for him, the 249 was reloading. Ooh, he should have yelled crossing in there. That could have been pretty bad. Alright, 50 cal is up. The gunner is up. See him light up some stuff right now. Come on, boy. I mean, he is. Look at the target he is. He's such a tiny target. That's pretty insane. Kind of looking at where the other Vics are going. The Americans are pulling a diversionary tactic. They're leaving. All their Vics are abandoning the fight. Let's turn off Death of Field. All their Vics are abandoning it, and they're actually moving over to try and probably go to another place by heading up north and then going around Ancient Khanat. Obviously, though, the insurgents are about to run into the Americans in some CQB over on the flank, but lucky for the American. Ooh, they're getting like really close. Did he see him? I don't think he saw him jump over, did he? Ah, that's like just too shallow of an angle for these people to see each other. That's actually pretty cool to see. Oh, they're about to run into their butt right here. Ooh, did he see him? Did he see him? That's the question. The only downside of this this game is that as a spectator, I'm forced to team spectate, so I can only watch one team at a time, or I can only listen to one team at a time. I can't actually hear what the insurgents are saying, which kind of does suck a little bit, but it's a squad limitation. Oh god, they're like right next to each other. They're in the same alleyway. Oh, he saw him. I think he saw him, but he didn't realize. Oh crap. Oof. He must have thought that was a friendly. So all the Americans have more or less successfully, well, minus maybe one or two, have more or less successfully retreated from their original position. I think up top we have the ticket timer or ticket clock. I'm pretty sure the Americans were at 420 and the insurgents at 474, but let's not hang. I'm not gonna weigh on that too much, but I think we can keep track of the kills that way. So it should be 2 for the insurgents and 1 for the Americans. But obviously, because the Americans had to like run into their trap more or less, the first casualties were kind of brutal. Americans are lining up the police station. There's no one there. The insurgents are now, I'm assuming, realizing that they got duped, that they got tricked, and that they are going to have to reposition again after their flank barely filled. I mean, the Americans were literally caught with their pants down. As they were having a little bit of a scuffle here in this alleyway, but not very much fire was really traded. I mean, I think the insurgent fired like a couple of rounds and they moved off. 249's engaging. We do have a contact in the tower. Is there a guy in the tower right here? Oh, it's actually... Oof! We do have a guy in this building who's on the other side. Barely survived. Ooh, RPG! He's trying to get a shot up on the hill. That was a pretty damn good shot. Did anyone get injured from that? They all seem to be fine after that, but they don't want to stick around. I mean, I wouldn't want to stick around. They're just taking an RPG. And I don't know how it didn't really damage him more than it did. 203 coming out. 249 laying down some suppressive fire. Ooh, another RPG. That was close. Again, if they get hit and they're dead, or they're down on the ground, they stay dead. They're not allowed to come back. That was a sweet 203 hit. Unlucky for the 203. There is no person in that building. The RPG guy, I'm pretty sure that's him. Oh, no, actually, there's a PPSH. Is the RPG guy still in this building? Oh, he is, but I don't think he is too excited to stay up there. And then after those 203s came in pretty damn close. But there's also no resupply. So there's obviously, it's obviously a bad idea to, as a player, just start spamming your ammo or 203 because you're not going to get it back. Now the insurgents are pushing really, really hard. They're actually pretty damn close for the starters. I'm not really sure what is happening over here. Is there like a person inside this building? Oh, it's a rally point for a person who was who crashed, I'm assuming. So there is a squad who are right here. I really kind of want them to push up, but I mean, the thing is, the Americans are not in this fight to stay in an engagement. They want to keep moving. As you can see, the trucks, or the truck and the MRAPs have moved on to a different area of the map, more north. They still are going to have to push past the stronghold over here. We'll take a look at that. There's quite a few insurgents entrenched behind those walls back here. You can see their triangles. They're set up, and they've been waiting. And they're probably gonna wait for a little bit longer. But they do know that the Americans retreated from that part over there, and they are set up and ready to attack. Insurgents are. They do have eyes down the road. I mean, not as good eyes as I have here. RPG ready to blast. I kind of want to keep an eye on this guy. Hey, dude, what's up? He can't hear me unless I turn my local on. And even then, I don't think he can hear me because he's in another team, so. So the Americans, instead of pushing up aggressively, are taking it very slow, especially because they're trying to keep their team together. You notice that they pulled like almost a 180 degree. They like went from there, pulled all the way back there over here, and now they do have, I almost said Russians. They do have insurgents hot on their tail. Is there anyone watching the rear? Okay, there's guys watching around. There's no one like watching the actual rear, but I'd be surprised. Actually, never mind. He is watching their rear, as I'm expecting the insurgents to push heavily, because the only real part of the only real objective here for the insurgents is to actually kill the truck. Oh, here they go. Here we go. There's an insurgent right laying down over here with the RPG. He's ready. He's waiting. He wants that. He wants the MRAP. If the MRAP gets hit once, it's going to blow up. Is he going to get spotted before the guy sees him? He's like right in front of him, Mario. You're not killing him. Oh, he got saved by his friend, but the RPG goes down. But the Americans lose 2 friendlies. The 50 cal is lighting up. This guy is not having a great day. He just got hit by an RPG. Must have been an AT4 or like a 203 that just got hit next to him. This is a really sneaky position right here with the PPSH. The Americans are now down another member or 2. I believe they lost someone in this field down here. Yep. The Americans lost another 2 trying to push through the town. Obviously, they're going to be losing a lot of men because they're pushing aggressively. Oh, insurgents are pushing in behind them, though. They're going to be stuck here very, very soon. In between the insurgents. The insurgents have an RPG. Okay, they've actually been spotted. They are pulling back, healing up, and getting ready for their... Oh, the MRAP just turned around. This could turn the battle over here. Ooh. In favor of the Americans. Did that MRAP get hit? Oh, now it's hit. They have to bail out. I'm pretty sure they have to bail out. That's gonna kill them.
Are we good?
They're burning alive in there. So I just realized that those little colored bars are actually their health. So that's 1 MRAP down for the Americans. Definitely not a great start for them. And the combat actually, I'm surprised that the truck is still in the position that it is, considering there's no one really watching the ass. And if one sneaky insurgent snuck up right here, the truck would be gone. Obviously, I have the eagle eye view, so it's a little bit easier for me to determine this situation than it is for them on the ground. Another American dead. We have a smaller squad, about a fire team of Americans, who I think have been engaged with personnel on the walls right here. Yeah, because they're actually getting healed up right now. Yeah, you got healed, so that's a medic. The Americans are in this poppy field? Is this poppy? I'm assuming that's what it is. Americans are sneaking around the most northern part, but I don't know if it's a really good idea. I mean, obviously they want to clear the area, but the further they go, the further away from the trucks they go, and in the end, the Americans, I mean, they've lost one MRAP. They're in CQB battle over there, just to the right of the MRAPs and the trucks, and they haven't really made much progress at all. Also, I think I was wrong about the numbers. Don't worry about the numbers, then I reckon. In the top right, I mean. We have an RPG guy. Very sneaky. Very, very sneaky. He can see them pretty clearly from here. But maybe he's already out of ammo. Maybe he's trying to save. Oh, here we go. He's getting ready to fire it. Ooh! That was a direct hit on the front MRAP, making that now also no longer useful. It's going on fire, and after a certain time it will die. Now the truck really is in a bad position. It's locked in between a burning MRAP, which is going to explode, and an MRAP which is just right behind them. It's kind of blocking their way. The truck really is in a horrible position as it's taking more RPG shots. We just got a friendly, I guess I mean by friendly I mean an American, absolutely destroyed by an RPG. The MRAP really needs to get the fuck out of there. Oh, the American just got run down by the MRAP, but he's going to wake up again. Oh, a little bit through the floor there. They really have to get out of there. That truck cannot stay there for much longer. I'm surprised that second RPG did not take it out. Rear view mirror is another thing in squad, so it's kind of hard to determine where you're going when you're going in reverse. The MRAP now taking up the front and literally being a guardian angel for the truck by protecting it with its body, with its superstructure. We have still a load of insurgents right behind him. We have an entire squad. We got 5 guys over here, including an RPG, 2 RPGs, and we have 4 more men right in front. This could basically mean the end for the American team. If they get a good RPG shot on that truck, it could be all over here. Oh, is that one coming in? He looks like he's getting ready for it. Maybe not, maybe not. Ooh, that is bad news for the insurgents behind. 50 caliber on the MRAP spots their men and domes, literally domes the RPG guy. That's one down. Still another guy with an RPG who's slowly moving up for the kill. I'm actually going to try and stay behind this guy and see if he's going to be aggressive or not with that. If he is, he could definitely take out at least the MRAP or the truck. Okay, he's got a 40mm dildo rocket in there for now. I'm not really sure. Oh, well. Is he getting shot at? Okay, he's not dead. He got lucky there. There's a lot more insurgents pushing up. They're like within 30 meters of the truck. Fragging out by the insurgents coming in. Frag out. Oh, the AR barely survived. No, he did not barely survive. Well, he barely survived, but then he died. The truck now under grenade barrage from the insurgents. The truck just pushing on. The truck just pushing on. Trying to push through contact. There's still a hostile right in this building. No one's cleared it. I don't know if they know, but he's right down here. He's waiting for Americans to pass. If he can get a couple shots into the cabin of that truck, I'm assuming he might even be able to wound the driver or take the driver out. And eventually the Americans will run out of drivers, if anything. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. He's like in the perfect ambush position. This is almost like the Battle of Stalingrad. Oh, he takes one down. They have no clue where he is. He's sneaking outside the building. He's getting out of there. He's getting out of there. It is literally the Battle of Stalingrad. Oh, RPG from the flank on the MRAP. Seems to be just a 40mm rocket though, because the MRAP is still alive, not smoking. The Battle of Stalingrad Soviet sniper, I guess we can call him that, or guerrilla, is proning out of there, getting the hell out of Dodge after getting that one hit. Basically the prime example of guerrilla warfare. And also that the Americans are looking for this guy because they lost a friendly soldier right here, and it's actually an SL too. They have no clue what happened to him. They have absolutely no clue in the slightest. The Americans are being pushed aggressively from the rear. There's a couple of Americans running away trying to fight the rearguard battle. He's under heavy fire back here. Is he gonna make it out of there? Nice map border there. Oops, is he? Somehow he survived. The truck is on its way. The Americans are now... Okay, all those white things are really hard to see where we're going. Okay, so the Americans are right on this marker. They're going to have to go down this road. Oh, they're going to go through, like, they're going to have to go cross country here. Or they could go south. But they're still quite far away from the training base, which I think, or training camp, which is right here. Quite far away. There's also no way for Vix to get in there, apparently. But yeah, they're quite far away, and there is still quite a lot of insurgents around the map. Is that the truck burning? Is that the truck burning? There goes the truck. There goes the taco truck. Taco truck is down. I believe the American goal now is to extract or evac to the training base regardless. But they definitely just lost part of their main objective. Insurgents are closing in. They're just like right in the field in front of some Americans. Americans are being suppressed heavily. AT-4 going out. Or was it a law? I couldn't really see. Oh, is he gonna get shot in the back? No, no, no. This insurgent gets up right now. He gets a kill. I feel like spectating a baseball match. I'm like really excited watching this, to be honest. So the Americans are pushing away from the truck. Now it's blown up. They've lost 3 out of their 4 Vics, with the 1 MRAP still alive. But under fire, it's returning fire to the rear. But it's got... If this guy's an RPG, this could be GG for the Vix right here. Does this guy have a... Jesus, that's just scary. This is a single guy with an AK. Actually, it looks like an RPK. A guy with an RPK laying down, and he has no clue. I mean, I'm sure he can hear the MRAP in front of him. But he's being very sneaky. They're in no rush. If anything, they actually need to... Well, the insurgents are probably in sort of a rush because they have to now cut off the Americans from a training base. And at this point, there actually doesn't seem to be too many insurgents left. There's one right here. There's 4. There's 3 right here, and a 4th, and a 5th and 6th. There's 6 right here. There's a 6 right here, and a 7th in a field. And then all the other insurgents are behind the Americans, trying to just take 1 or 2 more pot shots. But they need to, I mean, the majority of their team, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 14 of the insurgents are now locked away from the objective, between, basically the Americans in between themselves and the objective, the end objective. My assumption is they're going to try and get ASAP to the east and set up a new defensive position to try and stop the Americans at least from pushing into the main base. But I'm really surprised how the Americans kind of just got a... It looked like almost... Oh... It looked almost lazy how the Americans were treating the truck, kind of not really paying attention to it, and then getting it in a very obvious location where I would never put a truck next to a building. But I mean, obviously you have the eagle-eye perspective. Like I said, their objective now is to extract to the training camp. This one lone guy, he's still here. Oh, he's moving. He could. Does the gunner see him? Let's see what happens right here. He's getting in cover. The perfect ambush. Can he kill the gunner first? That's the question. Oh, the gunner is down! Gunner is down! Ambush successful. I'm not sure if this goes against the lone wolfing rule, but he just took down an SL and a gunner on the MRAP. Very, very, very important 2 kills.
Radio in to your squad leader. What do you want to do?
Okay, Insurgent's down. The Americans found where he was and took him down. But he did take down 2 more players. And in the end, obviously costing the Americans quite a lot of time trying to figure out where that guy came from. Americans double fucking timing it over towards the base. The Insurgents set up all around the base and inside the base, apparently, to, I'm assuming, obviously, try and kill as many of them as possible before they get inside. I'm not really too sure. I'm assuming the Americans will have lost this, but maybe this might be like a less of a loss if they get in the base. Because, like I said, they did, their objective was to get the taco truck in there. RPG hitting Americans. I think they just lost another one. That's pretty brutal. Smoking. Oh, that's a grenade. Actually, I thought it was a smoke grenade. Ooh, that was close to a friendly right there. I'm not sure he's gonna be too happy about that. So we have how many Americans? We have 1, 2, 3, and the MRAP. So that's 4, and the driver. That is, I guess, because there's no gunner, is there? No, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10? About 10 Americans, and then on the Insurgents we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're looking at about 16 to 7. No, actually, we're looking at almost double the American numbers. That's what the Insurgents have. That is a very, very, very cheeky spot. That is disgusting, and you should feel bad. Man. That's really rude. He's got the tightest of angles, and I don't really expect anyone is going to find out where he is until he at least lets a burst loose. The first Americans are about to come into the area where the training base is.
We're pushing off too far.
They're going to be welcomed by a hail of bullets. There's actually already... Ooh, is he going to get out of the tower just in time? Oh, well, seems like the Americans got lucky there. Most of them are still behind. I'm not really sure why. There's still quite a large amount. Oh, I guess I have to stick with the MRAP and get the MRAP across the road for the majority of the ideas. They're going to have to go around and support the troops here. But as you can see, this is going to turn out fucking horrible for the Americans. The only thing is they do have, like I said, they do have the MRAP, but that might not work out for them. Oh, that's an Insurgent taken down with an RPK. So that's an important kill for the Americans, taking out some heavy firepower, heavy suppression power on the Insurgent side. But the Insurgents have, like I said, almost doubled their manpower because also two of the Americans are actually in the MRAP. Ooh, he got hit pretty bad. He barely survived.
Fuck. Okay, I'm good.
He barely
Oh, God.
survived. Oh, he's taking out a position. Oh, that did no damage to no one. But there, ooh, he got really close. He got really close.
Friendly.
There's still an RPG. I don't know if he still has it. But the character, there's at least an RPG character around. MREP's coming down the road. MREP's coming down the road. Is he going to have an RPG left? Okay, he knows it's really close. Oh no! That was not smart. That was not a smart idea to just drive the MREP up. They didn't even manage to secure a kill with it. Nitrator almost gets destroyed by some sort of explosive. He is not in a good position. I think he's also bleeding out. And he is going to be the first person to die around this area if he doesn't quickly bandage up. Thick is down. Americans have now lost. Their only advantage, not only are the insurgents an advantage because they're defending, but like I said, there's also more of them. So MREP down, and now it's just going to be a war of attrition on the Americans, who are going to be apparently pushing around to the north. And honestly, if you were in this field at like this height, you could not see what's happening 2 feet in front of you. But this is about the height they're playing at. About this, there you go.
Okay, I'm covering you guys clear to cross.
Crossing.
And I have freedom of knowing where the enemies are at any given moment, and these guys don't know if they're running into an ambush or not around every corner. Like right here. Here we go. Is it an RPG? Oh, it's just an SL, I think.
Trying to make sure the buildings are clear before we push through.
They're entering the buildings. Ooh, this is so close. Oh, who's gonna see who first?
Yeah, but they're behind us.
Is he gonna see him? Oh no! The Americans just got ambushed. They lose 2. Oh no! I've no never. They only lost 1 American. 1 American for 1 insurgent. But the Americans can't afford to trade like that. If they did it every time, they're going to be out of tickets really, really soon, or out of men really, really soon. The insurgents are actually setting up, not so much in the training camp anymore, as they are more around it. There's actually still a few. Oh, that's cheeky. There's still a few here. Oh, this guy is the Dildo Rocket RPG. The 40 mic rocket that he has in his RPG is actually a very good anti-personnel. I think it's an HE frag round. It's a very tiny grenade. It's much like the American 40mm like 203 grenade, the one that they shoot from their grenade launchers. I'm assuming it's just, I mean, it's the same caliber, so I can only assume it works the same way, but very destructive against manpower. Kobe, was that anywhere near a friendly? And by friendly, I mean an American. That was kind of a waste. I don't know what this guy was looking at. The Americans are pushing almost in the compound now. They're on the outer wall. Outer wall of the compound. That sounded like it was a PPSH. That is a PPSH right here. I'm going to assume he doesn't really have the power to do much with that gun at the range he's firing at. I mean, it's a World War II SMG. If he gets even a hit with that, I would be very much surprised. Americans are dropping smoke into the objective. both hand and 203 thrown. That's a lot of smoke coming out. However, they're being pushed. They're being pushed from behind. They're being pushed from behind by more insurgents. I have to kind of keep an eye on the front and the back now. It's going to be a bit hard. Let's try and get up to the ceiling right here and turn off the asterisk. So the triangle. So the Americans are right here. The insurgents are right, basically on both sides of them. I have to keep the triangles on just so we can kind of see what's going on, because there's also a lot of other ones flying around. There's an insurgent right there, basically watching straight down the doorway. 203 landing in there. Americans are not in a good position. Barely made it out through the doorway. All the Americans back here are basically wounded. They're pushing around. If Mr. Sauce could push into... Oh, never mind. He's not going to push into anything, because the second he pushes around this corner, he is going to get destroyed. Oh, never mind. He's moving off. Maybe not. Insurgents are still pushing up. They're on the same wall. 4 here. 3 Americans, 4. There's maybe 5 Americans left. And about double insurgent wise. There's still guys like really entrenched, including, oh, these guys are pricks, including 2 or 3. Oh, the bed guy is still here. That must be a really boring job for the guy, just to look at watch the bed. He's holding like a super tiny angle. The American over here in the corner got killed. Maybe grenaded or pushed. And the insurgents are surrounding them just outside the training base. They're inside the same compound now. The Americans are literally going to have to switch to a knife here and start stabbing the insurgents, because that's what's basically about to happen right here. So we turn off everything. Americans losing another man.
Yo, let's do this.
Oh god. Oh, that was something. God. He didn't even get to finish his sentence of saying, "Let's do this, Leroy Jenkins." The Americans are now down to 2 men. 2 men are fighting for their lives with insurgents all around them. And there's not much they can do. There is at least... Ooh, they're jumping all over the fences and the walls. Surprisingly, this guy... Oh. Is he just like... He's gonna glitch through that stone. That's a bit glitchy. And then we have the other guy over here. No, they're coming into... Ooh, is that a grenade? Man, this guy is not having a great time. He is, however, watching straight into this doorway. The second anyone comes through, he's gonna get his kill. But the thing is, he's watching behind them. They're right here. It's actually just him left. So we're gonna turn off things for good now. So all the insurgents push in on the last compound. The last... Is there any other doors in this building? There's 3, like he could probably hear the footsteps on top of him. They don't... I'm assuming they know that there's an American in this building, because that's the way they're playing it right now. Okay, there's no way in. So there's only one way in to this building, and it's the door he's watching. He's just downed 1. It's the last stand. They all know he's right. Well, they don't necessarily know exactly where he is. Oh, he's getting shot from the rear. He's being pushed, and the last American has perished. A very interesting run for the Americans. I think they did a pretty damn decent job. The truck dying was definitely one of the worst parts for them. They lost it quite early on. And then the MRAP, that was really unlucky that they lost that nose. Oh, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to be awesome. Cheers.